At least now we see Chan Sung Jung and Brian Ortega's official for October 17. Are you happy to see a little bit of movement now?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, I mean, that's you're exactly right. There was an interview after interview. I'm just telling people, mate, I want number one contender. Whoever takes it gets it. Now we've got guys that are going to fight, so it's good. You know, it's exciting for the division. You know, again right now it's a good time to be champ. You know, I've got a lot of contenders and potential matchups. I think Yair and Zabit are supposedly fighting. I don't know if that's confirmed as well. So we've got, you know, big fights coming up and excited for the division. And again, whoever puts on the most impressive performance probably gets a shot. So I'm excited.
And yeah, because it is an official Zabitvsyayirs, and I don't know what the holdup is, but it was kind of rumored for UFC 254, so it'll be on that Fight Island October. So it's like a nice little mini featherweight tournament. Are you viewing a certain matchup as number one contender? Because I spoke to Brian Ortega a couple weeks ago, and he's like, his fight's kind of being dubbed as a number one contender fight. And it's interesting because Zabitvsyayirs, if it does land on 254, it's not a 5-round fight. So are you looking at Ortega and Zombie as the number one contender fight, or do you feel like anyone could emerge?
Yeah, you know, as I've always said, that they're the two matchups. Like them two fights, definitely they're the front runners, I believe. You know, you got your Zombie. Like if Zombie gets a big win over Ortega, it's going to be hard to deny him a title shot. And the same for Zabit. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, you know, obviously it's whoever's the UFC want and who the fans want. So depending on their performance as well, like a huge knockout, say, or a big submission, or a complete dominant performance, you know, will probably solidify them as the next guy that takes on that gets that title shot.
Do you have a preference on who you'd rather fight or who you'd rather emerge as the number one contender?
Yeah, no, but look, I'm not scared of any of them. You know what I mean? I'm not. You know, I believe I beat anyone. I truly do believe, and as people may take this as disrespecting my opponents, I'm not. I believe they're good fighters, but I can't see any of them beating me other than landing something lucky, to be quite honest. So I don't care who it is. Again, this is MMA, so you know, anything can happen. I remember that, but at the same time, I believe their only chance is to land something, and you know, that's true. Honestly, what I believe, you know what I mean. And so whoever it is, again, whoever's the biggest fight for the division, for me, you know what I mean. That's all I care about.
And how do you see Zombie and Ortega playing out?
It's good. They're both pretty tough. You know, obviously they both got good finishes, so I think it's going to be an exciting fight. I think, I probably, if I had to take a bet, you know, I'd probably say Zombie. I believe they're both pretty equal on the ground. They're both very creative and good finishes on the ground. Obviously, the jiu-jitsu on their feet. They're both, they're both always looking for the finish. So it's going to be exciting. But I think Zombie might have the edge on the feet. That's what I believe. But again, I've got my eye on it. It's going to be exciting. You know what I mean? I'm still a fan of this sport. So hopefully they put on a show. And hopefully we find out who's going to be that next title contender out of that fight.
And how about Zabitvsyayirs? How do you see that one playing out?
That's a tricky one. Again, so did you say that's probably going to be a 3-rounder? So
yeah,
I didn't really look into that far. Like, you know, didn't look into it. But you're right. So that's something that is a bit, you know. Again, you got to show you can even go. Like he's struggling with the 3-rounders, and I don't mean that any disrespect, but it's pretty obvious he struggles in them later rounds in a 3-rounder. So you know, I still think that's what gives him a chance against Yair, because he starts off good. He is a great fighter. He's a talented fighter, but again, he just doesn't have that gas tank. It's something he really needs to work on. And it's not really that. It's obviously his style as well, because he's an exciting fighter. He goes for it. He gives it his all from the get-go, and that's why he gasses pretty quick. So I believe it's going to be a strong start for Zabit, but he will slow down. But so I'll probably take Zabit in that one.